hold on to your hats, because Master Fox is about to put on a show. In Trance Master Fox's Dazzling dance, you'll discover how his clever moves and twirls help him get exactly what he wants.
One peaceful moonlight evening. Master Fox, a creature of russet fur and a very clever mind, was taking his usual leisurely stroll through the whispering, ancient woods. The silver light filtered gently through the leaves, painting dappled patterns on the forest floor as he padded silently along. He enjoyed these quiet moments, his keen nose twitching, listening to the soft nighttime sounds. As he rounded a bend by a gnarled old oak, his sharp eyes suddenly sparked with mischievous delight. High above him, nestled securely on a stout limb of a very tall old tree, Master Fox spotted a delightful sight, a plump family of pheasants. Their feathers, usually so vibrant in the sun, now shimmered with muted greens and browns under the pale moonbeams. They looked quite comfortable, tucked in for the night, completely unaware of the keen eyes watching them from below. Master Fox's tummy rumbled softly. Thought Master Fox, his clever brain already whirring. They are much too high for my usual pounce. He knew he couldn't climb that smooth, tall trunk, and leaping was out of the question. He watched them for a moment, head tilted, then a brilliant, sneaky idea began to form in his mind, like a mischievous spark. A wide, foxy grin slowly spread across his face, revealing a peak of his pointy teeth. Quietly, so as not to startle his potential supper, Master Fox scampered to a perfectly chosen spot. This particular patch of forest floor was bathed in the brightest available moonlight, almost like a stage spotlight. He made sure the pheasants, if they craned their necks just so, would have a perfectly clear view of him. He planned to put on quite a show, a magnificent performance just for them. With a theatrical flourish of his magnificent tail, Master Fox then raised himself carefully onto his hind legs. He stood tall, almost like a little person, his front paws held elegantly. A playful sparkle danced in his eyes as he began his wild and captivating dance. The forest seemed to hold its breath, waiting for the performance to unfold. First, he spun around and around, faster and faster, like a furry russet top, his bushy tail a blur of silver in the moonlight. Whirl! Then he bounced up and down, letting out little excited yips, cutting all sorts of funny, strange capers and curious jumps. The pheasants, who had been sleepy moments ago, were now wide-eyed and completely mesmerized by the unexpected show. Their little pheasant heads were tilted, their beady eyes fixed entirely on the dancing fox. They watched him so intently, so utterly fascinated, that they hardly dared to blink. They didn't want to miss a single one of his silly, mesmerizing moves for even a heartbeat. What an amazing show! They seemed to think, their heads starting to feel a little bit dizzy from all the spinning. Master Fox, seeing their rapt attention, added more tricks to his performance. Suddenly he made it seem as if he was trying to climb the tall, smooth tree trunk, tiny paws scrabbling playfully against the bark, but then he dramatically slipped. Slide! He tumbled gracefully to the soft ground with a soft thud. The pheasants gasped silently, their feathers fluffing up in surprise. But then, to their amazement, Master Fox lay perfectly still on the forest floor, playing dead. He closed his eyes, his sleek body unmoving, as if he had truly fallen. The moonlight gently highlighted his russet fur, making him look like a soft, furry rug. Just as the birds began to whisper worriedly amongst themselves, Master Fox suddenly sprang back to life. He was instantly hopping on all fours, his back playfully arched high in the air, his bushy tail shaking so vigorously that it seemed to throw out silver sparks in the bright moonlight. The pheasants stared, completely bewildered by his rapid changes. By this point, The poor little birds' heads were truly in a whirl. They couldn't understand what they were seeing. One moment he was still, the next he was dancing wildly. Their sense of balance, usually so good, was starting to feel wobbly high up on their branch. Whee! They swayed slightly, completely caught in the spectacle. And then, Master Fox, with another mischievous glint in his eye, began his entire mesmerizing performance all over again. The whirling, the hopping, the playful falls, it all started anew. The pheasants watched, completely spellbound, their eyes following his every move with an almost hypnotic intensity. Spin! Spin! So dazed and confused did the pheasants become by Master Fox's never-ending, wild display that they completely forgot where they were. Their tiny claws, which usually gripped the branch so tightly, began to relax. One little pheasant fluttered its wings nervously, flap, flap, trying to regain its footing. But it was too late. With a soft gasp and a little thump, the first dazed pheasant tumbled from its high perch. It fluttered weakly for a moment, then began to fall. Then another, and another, like ripe apples from a tree. They lost their grip. The air was filled with tiny flutters and gasps. Each one fell down, down, down toward the forest floor, where Master Fox waited patiently. Master Fox, with a triumphant flick of his tail, didn't have to pounce or chase. The dazed birds landed gently near him, one by one, still quite stunned by their unexpected descent and the bewildering dance. He gathered them, a happy glint in his keen brown eyes, and prepared for a delicious, well-earned supper. He had used his wits and a bit of playful trickery, rather than strength, to get his meal. Tonight, Master Fox enjoyed a delightful feast under the watchful, silent moon. He knew that sometimes the cleverest plan was not the strongest, but the one that surprised everyone the most. This story of Master Fox and the pheasants teaches us that it's always important to pay attention to our surroundings. If the pheasants had stayed aware and not been so easily tricked by the dazzling show, they might have stayed safe on their branch. It's a reminder to think critically and not get too distracted by things that seem too good to be true.
Ever dreamed of being the hero? Now you get to be the star. Your adventure starts at TalesMio. Visit talesmio.com now.